Hey guys, wanted to talk about practice mentality for a bit. So, I've had students in the past ask me, how do they win an audition or how do they beat certain people in their audition? Well, I always tell them to don't really think of it as a competition. You want to think of it as a way to showcase what you can do as a performer. It's not really about beating other people. If you focus too much on other people, then you're forgetting about what you're going to get out of it. So, what do I mean by that? Well, whenever you walk out of an audition room, you want to be able to think that you were proud of what you've done and that there isn't really anything you could have done differently to have made that performance better. Like you had done the right kind of preparation, you played the way you wanted to, at least for the most part, and overall you're just happy about how you did. I think that the results at that point are just going to be what they are. Um, Obviously, if you're happy with the way you did, there's not much else you could have done, then it is what it is. If you happen to do well in terms of placement in the audition, fantastic. If you don't, that's okay. At least you walked away happy with what you did. So, what is the difference between focusing on other people versus focusing on yourself? Well, I think by focusing on other people, you start to lose track of what you're really practicing. You're not really practicing to make yourself better, you're practicing to make yourself better than other people. I think if you practice with that kind of mindset, you might find yourself regressing a little bit with the material you're working on. I always say that you want to strive to play something the best you can play it. And so, in order to do that, you need to be practicing efficiently. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have heard the phrase, the people that do the best in auditions are the people that spend the most time practicing. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that the people who typically do the best in auditions are the ones who practice the most efficiently. I think it's certainly a quality over quantity type situation. So, what do I mean by efficient practice? Well, I think that every practice session is a big chunk of it is going to be just what you're thinking about as you're doing it. Are you just trying to get through the passages? Are you just trying to repeat them over and over? Or are you actually going through each repetition thinking, okay, I didn't like how I did this. Here's how I can fix this. Uh, Something physically happened here, so let me make sure that that same thing doesn't happen again. Things like that. It's all about really thinking and analyzing what you're doing as you're practicing. And I think if you're spending enough time doing that, I think you're going to find yourself progressing fairly quickly with how you play. Just having that kind of discipline to be able to really analyze and apply new techniques to what you're doing. So you might be thinking, okay, but we're still auditioning against other people, so why should I just be focused on myself? Well, there's not really going to be much you can do to affect the other people that are auditioning against you, right? How they're going to play is how they're going to play, and how you're going to play is how you're going to play. You can't affect how someone else plays, but you can affect how you play. So it's important that you're doing everything you can to make sure that whatever you bring to that performance or audition, that you've done everything you could to make sure that it's going to be as good as it can be. So I haven't focused too much on just the actual results of an audition, and I think that I just think that whatever happens with an audition, it's going to be what it's going to be. Um, I think the most important part of any audition is the journey leading up to it, the amount of effort you put in, and again, just feeling proud of the product that you made by the time the performance or audition came around. I have high school students that will ask me, do you think that I'll make the all-state band this year? And I say, it's obviously just going to depend on what the judges like. It depends on who else is going to be in the room, you know. Um, so there's no way to say for sure, like, yes, I think you're going to make all state, or no, I don't think you're going to make all state. I think the best way, in order to have the best chance of doing well in these auditions, is you just need to be focused on what you can do and just play the best that you can. And obviously be working with your lesson instructors, band directors, and whoever, just to try to get as much instruction as you can and as many just reps playing for people as you can as well. I hope that these tips were helpful, and I hope it kind of helps with just preparing for an audition or just practicing in general. If you have any questions or anything, if you have any requests for any tips, feel free to leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.